live with Dragon. Back again for a weekly video, and we're going to be talking about the bodybuilder mindset and how it carries over in the healing process, the rehab process. Could be herniated disc, could be a shoulder injury, it doesn't matter. It's how it carries over when you apply the bodybuilder mindset. So initially when I would make these videos, a lot of it was, I guess, from myself, right? Self-analyzed. It was all personal experience, right? But I've trained enough clients as I transition into helping people with some injury relating to lower back health that it's not just anecdotal data anymore. It's a formula that seems to be working. Obviously, that's not the case for, I don't know, every single person, but let's just say that the statistics are pretty good in my favor, okay? So we're going to talk about the bodybuilder mindset and how it carries over to healing. Couple things here. So what separates someone who wants to look good versus somebody who actually looks good is it's the ability to do things, the little things, every single day. And you'll excuse me, I've got some notes here on the iPad that I want to kind of reference, and I'll speak through those points. So they're doing the little things every day. They're not getting caught up in how large or small the programming is, okay? Number two, if we can apply that same concept to a herniated disc, oftentimes we're overcome with emotion trying to get out of that pain, right? That's what we think about. Pain, pain, pain. It's all consuming. We just want to get out of that pain. But that's a distraction from the main point, which is doing the little things every day, okay? Which is going to stack major wins long-term and then get you out of that pain loop. So as I said, I've trained enough clients where it's getting to the point where I think that there is a lot to say about this kind of concept. We're marrying this bodybuilder mentality to the rehab side. And I think it does have its place. So a couple things, right? If you're going through the herniated disc, going through injury right now, ask yourself these couple questions, okay? Do you have the ability to track progress? And more importantly, the ability to audit that progress? So in bodybuilding, right, it's kind of broken up into a few chapters. You've got the training side, you've got the nutrition side, you've got the recovery side, and those are like the big predominant factors which makes somebody a good bodybuilder. Now, it's not easy by any means, right? But those are the big factors. And I think those three things also carry over extremely well into the healing process. So, for instance, if you're just picking and choosing a bunch of clips off of YouTube, right, and you're just trying a bunch of things in the gym, week one might look like you're focusing on the hinge movements, okay? That worked out pretty well. And then the next movement, you're going into extensions, okay? Week two, for instance, extensions. And then week three, you jump into, you know what? My calf is weak, so I really want to do a lot of calf raises. You're jumping around so much, it's impossible to track progress, okay? When I write a program from somebody from like a transformational body physique type of split, we might not change the program for 12 weeks, ultimately, right? We might add sets, reps, and volume. We might change the touch on some of, maybe an exercise or two, but the program is the program. So if you're one of those people that find yourselves having to do a ton of different things to try to hit your endpoint, I really caution you to think more streamlined and have, 6-8 exercises that you're really focusing on week over week. And it could be broken up, every 2 days. You could do it every day. It could be broken up into 3 days. It really boils down to what you can recover from. Number two, what is the opportunity, right? Yes, you're in pain. Yes, you have a herniated disc. Yes, your MRI has confirmed that you have a herniated disc. But what is your opportunity, right? Is it a structural integrity issue? Is it a flexion issue? Is it an extension issue? Is it weakness in a certain part of the body? What is that opportunity? So example, if we're going to translate back into the bodybuilding game, is for me, like when I bulk, which is right now, obviously face very full, I need a lot of food to grow, a lot. I think right now I'm at 4,000 calories split between 6 meals a day. I would not be able to do that if I didn't eat super dense food, low fat that is. So super dense, low fat, high carbohydrate, high protein. Now, there's a lot of ways to go about that, but ultimately how that applies to being able to track and eat that food, right, is the surface level of just saying I need to eat a lot of food to grow might look like on Monday you eat a lot of food to grow, but on Tuesday you don't eat that much food. There's no tracking, right? You don't know exactly what's going in the tank. You don't know your macros. You don't know your protein goals. You don't know your carb goals. You're just eating a lot. So what ends up happening is you just get fat, okay? 9 times out of 10, I see this all the time. Remember, I was a personal trainer, and obviously I still work I work out at commercial gyms every now and then. You see guys they balloon, they get really big, so they get wider. Maybe their strength goes up, but then when they cut, what do you know? They're pretty much in the back same position that they were before. So having a game plan, right? Getting into the weeds with your individual programming is going to yield different results from constantly remaining surface level, which is unfortunately what we're constantly bombarded with in life. Everything is surface level. Everything is like 10-second clip, 5-second clip, right? Media, blah, blah, blah. You're streamlined, but you got to dig deep. This has to be individualized for your goals. Number 2, when you have that opportunity, right? What's the game plan? What's the hack? What do you do to figure out that hack? Now you can either figure that out on yourself, or you could pay somebody like me to figure out that hack, because we've been through it, right? I've taken my body weight up to 260. I've dropped my body weight under 200 pounds, right? 60 pounds gone, 70 pounds gone in some situations. I'll give you an example. On my last prep, I was craving a lot of sugar. I was craving sweet things. So obviously we're talking chicken and rice, most meals, maybe potato, not a lot of sweet things going into prep. So one of the investments that I ended up making on last prep was a Ninja Creamy, right? So from a macro standpoint, if I added 2 scoops of protein, pretty sweet, chocolate flavor, you could do, there's a million on the market. Add it with, I think we were doing 0 fat Fairlife milk, right? Let that freeze for 24 hours, put it in the creamy, and then after, what comes out is a super high protein, low carbohydrate, low fat, as good as you're going to get ice cream for the macronutrients that you have, okay? I was still able to get 5% shredded peeled on stage, and I kind of got a taste of ice cream in the process. So what I'm trying to say here, it's not about eating ice cream or wanting sweets. It's finding that hack for you, okay? Another thing you can correlate that's outside of the bodybuilding game is, if I have a program for you that is written out, or you have a program for yourself that's written out, okay? And you're supposed to train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you're missing Friday consistently because you want to go out to socialize, whatever, drinking, blah, blah, blah. If you do that 1 week, maybe that's not too bad, but if you see a consistency in that type of behavior for 2 to 3 weeks, you can see on the long-term scale, you've missed maybe 4 or 5 sessions over the course of a 6-week mesocycle. You're going to be worse off than you were hitting all those 3 sessions, okay? And that starts with winning the day, making sacrifices in the time being to achieve those goals, and being, I guess, self-focused, self-driven, self-motivated, so that you can come out the other end and be as happy as you want to be, right? Self-sabotaging takes place not only in bodybuilding, but also in the injury game as well. A big one, and this kind of correlates to the pain game. Understanding that pain is temporary and will pass in due course, okay? When I'm training clients, when I train myself, right, and it has to do with the injury side of things, a big thing that we measure is pain over a long period of time, right? As time goes on, as mobility gets better, as strength improves, the pain is going to go down. Your symptoms are going to diminish. Either they're going to move up the leg, they're going to centralize in the lower back, or maybe you're just going to be completely pain-free. And then that is when the keys to the car are really essentially yours. Do you A, stop whatever you've been doing to get pain-free and then just celebrate? Or B, do you continue training and get better than you were before so that you can overcome these issues in the future, okay, that might arise? Obviously, most people in this situation want to choose B. That's the very clear-cut answer. But unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people choose A. They get pain-free, and this applies to the diet as well. They hit their diet goal. They're under 200 pounds. They're under 180 pounds, whatever the case may be. They're dieting down. They want to look a certain way. They get there. Awesome. They should be super happy about that. But unfortunately, if you stop doing what's working for you, everything will go back to the way it was before. So I'm not saying that you need to have this hyper diligent training plan where you're doing 5-6 days a week for 2-3 years. That might be what you need to get out of pain. But eventually what's going to happen is that baseline level of training, or that baseline level of diet, or any of the behaviors that you've learned, I think a big word is behaviors that you learned, need to be a continuous joint effort so that you can stay pain-free, or that you can stay lean, or that you can stay jacked, okay? The end game here, ultimately what I'm trying to say is, this back injury or this concept of being the best version of yourself is a train that doesn't stop when you hit your destination. I like that analogy. I just thought of that. Thank you. That train needs to constantly roll on that track. And if you get off the track, you're going to not like the results. So this is what I was thinking about as I was driving home from the gym today. And I was in a position where I was feeling really good, pain-free, so to speak. And I really only get those annoying symptoms probably late at night at this point. And it's November now. And I've been very diligent in the chronology of when the injury started in March, April, to where we're at now. And, I've had these conversations with people that have been dealing with this for years. So the point of this all is if you can be hyper diligent and stick to the plan, stick to the game plan, okay? There are going to be times that things come up, okay? You're not going to be able to train the way you want to train every single time. Family obligations, holiday obligations, work obligations, social obligations, everything, right? But if you can make those sacrifices that are necessary for your ultimate well-being and health, you are going to be better for it. You're going to thank yourself for it. You're not going to regret that decision in the long run because you're going to hit your goal. You're going to be motivated. You're going to feel confident, and you're going to be the best version of yourselves. So that is all for today. That is the Dragon. It is a Monday, the 20th. Thank you for tuning in. Dragon. Ouse.